Welcome back to Cody's Movie Cave, where today we're not going to discuss a movie, but an actor's portrayal, okay? And that is Ben Affleck as Batman, okay? All right, so when this movie, when Ben got cast as Batman, everybody kind of was like, what? When Ben got cast, I even remember saying, I don't know, he's done Daredevil and it didn't do great. Can he hold a superhero film together? Especially one that's, this iconic, this character holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts. But with that said, I don't like to go in judging one, I like to wait and see what it's like before I cast judgment on it. So I kind of held my opinion to myself. But, Batman versus Superman came out. Whoa. I mean, I loved the movie, all right? It holds a special place in my heart. Storyline is a little, but let me just say why I like it, okay? And that is because of Ben. Ben Affleck, to me, when I seen him in costume, when I seen him as Bruce Wayne, when I seen his version of the character, man, oh man, was, I was sold. I was sold because here's why. No other actor, and there's been great Batmans. Don't get me wrong, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, all of them great. But here's the thing. There has been no actor been able to pull off the duality of Bruce Wayne and Batman and look the part, okay? Michael Keaton was a great Batman. His Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale was a pretty good Bruce Wayne, but his Batman was okay, all right? It wasn't, both of these actors were slim in physique, okay? They weren't bulky, hulking looking actors, And if you go back to the Detective Comics, DC, and read or look at some of the versions, Batman's always been on page and on the comic books a big guy. Like, he is massive, okay? Not only does he have a genius intellect, but he's got the physique to match up with Superman, okay? And so Ben Affleck, you could tell, obviously he had spent time in the gym. He bulked up, put on the muscle, and he filled out the suit really well, okay? But I like that this Batman was kind of, world-weary, war-weary, we might say, from fighting crime for 20 to 30 plus years. He's a veteran at this point, and I like that different take on the character. Most of the time when we see Batman in these movies, he's early on in his career, he's just starting out, origin type story. But the Ben Affleck version of Batman in Batman vs. Superman that we got was one that had seen it, done it, lived it for quite a while. His hair was gray, pretty much on point. As a fan of Batman comic books, I always wanted to see how close we could get to an actual Frank Miller, The Dark Knight Returns graphic novel as we could get. In that sense, go read it, by the way, it's great. He's big, but he's old, he's been there, done it, he's kind of got a bitter attitude on everything. He's had loss, he's had victory and defeat. And that's kind of where we find Ben's Batman in Batman vs. Superman. Kind of not broken, but not whole either. And I like that. It was different. I love Ben's portrayal and his performance as Batman. And so, really cool. Hitting a point on the suit. The suit was something totally different we hadn't ever seen. We get multiple versions of Ben Affleck's suit in this movie, actually. We get to see the traditional, kind of gray suit with the cape and cowl, the regular Batman attire. But then, we get to see this alternate Nightmare version, which is, I'm a real fan of that. That's one of my fan favorites. The trench coat, the sort of post-apocalyptic feel, I love it. And then we get the armored version where he takes on Superman. And Ben Affleck's Batman is formidable. Like he is a force like to be reckoned with. He is tough. The fighting style that Ben has in this one, um, he actually takes on multiple assailants, and you can believe that he can do that. You know, you could buy that Batman could take out this warehouse group of guys. So really great fights from Ben in that movie. And then we kind of move forward to, he was in the Suicide Squad. The movie itself sucked, okay, but I did like that he was in it for a little bit. You know, the scenes he was in was great. But then we moved to Justice League, where there's two versions, by the way. The Josh Whedon version that we got was terrible. He kind of made Batman a little jokey, a little lighter in tone. Sucked. Now, that being said, the Zack Snyder's Justice League version of Batman, Snyder Batman is always better, okay? Period. But Ben Affleck does a great job. You know, he's sort of taking on the role of putting together the team, and he does great in that movie. We get to see a tactical suit, which is where this one comes from, and that's really cool. But yeah, you know, Ben Affleck's Batman, I will have to go ahead and say, is probably one of my favorites. You know, I love all of them. You know, Michael Keaton's great, Christian Bale's great. They're all good, besides George Clooney, which we won't even count or mention. But Ben Affleck stands out as one of the standouts and one of my favorites. Hope to see him again. You know, he's filmed scenes for Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom, alongside Jason Momoa, so that's exciting. We'll get to see him some more. He's filmed scenes for The Flash, so he's still hanging in there. All right, and when this new regime of DC in the form of James Gunn, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of Ben. At least I hope so. I'm holding on hope in here that we'll still see Ben some more. And, you know, the greatest gift anybody could give me is a solo Batfleck movie. I hate the term Batfleck, but Ben Affleck's Batman to get a solo film. I've campaigned for it. I'm going to keep campaigning for it until it happens, okay? I want to see him in a solo movie. He deserves that. I think he deserves a movie that is purely about Batman and purely just, you know, him with a villain, okay? And I hope that villain would be Deathstroke. That'd be pretty tight, all right, to see those two tangle. Anyway, so yeah, Ben Affleck, great Batman. What is your thoughts on it? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Hey, that's fine if you do. But what's your favorite Batman, okay? You know, like I said,
Justice League.
Woo!
On my 6.
Pretty cool, I gotta say. Yeah, and I like that it changes the voice. And that's another thing about Ben Affleck, is he didn't have the growl that Christian Bale had, or the regular voice that Michael Keaton did. I like that it was augmented, okay? It was believable, right? You didn't have this guy who was out there all night, supposedly growly voice. He'd have throat problems, right? So yeah, I liked Ben's automated, augmented voice. Anyway, this has been my opinion. And you know what I say about opinions? They're like butts. Everybody's got one. Some of them stink. I'm Batman.